welcome to Smashterpieces, a casual walk through the history of the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate roster. My name is Joe.
And my name is Melanie.
And if you're new to this show, what we are doing is we are playing one game for every character in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate from 1984's Duck Hunt to 2019's Fire Emblem Three Houses. And today is our first part of discussion for the game representing fighter number 32, Ike. It is the 2005 GameCube title, Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. And we're not alone. I've made the decision in my heart that I'm just gonna call you Fossils. That's the name you get to have.
Oh, no.
It's been chosen for me.
I don't know. I mean, it's your real last name. I feel bad, but
I need people to understand that are listening that aren't familiar. I have never called him bad. Ever. That pre-show for Fire Emblem last episode, that is the first time ever. And it just feels wrong.
We should have discussed this, shouldn't we?
Nah.
This is not my problem. I don't have to say it.
So, we're going to talk about Fire Emblem. And
Yeah.
It's I'll let you guys get started, because you guys. So for people who don't know, you two have played the game already before. I have never played it.
Yeah, it's the best Fire Emblem when you combine it with Radiant Dawn.
Yeah, okay. It's a caveat there.
Yeah,
I mean, it is a very good one. Let me make you think that I don't like this game, because I'm arguing against it being the best. But
Yeah, disliking GameCube games is my shtick. You got to find a different one.
Since when do you dislike GameCube games?
2 episodes ago.
I've already forgotten which one was 2 episodes ago.
2 episodes ago was Metroid Prime 2.
whoa, wait a second.
Anyways.
Didn't you? Wait, you also disliked the last one too.
Oh yeah, I also didn't like the last one.
And I didn't
So-
like the one. I didn't like 3 games ago. So maybe the GameCube's not very good.
It's a good console. There are good games on there. It
Name
totally
one
does
that
not
you
just
voted.
coincide with the time that I was a child and owned my first console.
There are some very good games on GameCube. There are also
Since
some
they all
very
came out
bad
in
games on
2001. Anyways, Fire Emblem.
GameCube. Yeah.
Is, so I don't feel like I have I imagine this is not going to be a super long episode because I don't have a ton to say yet. It's the first 8 chapters of a Fire Emblem game.
Here's the thing, Joe. I didn't get to watch you play this Fire Emblem game, so
That
I
is
want to
true.
know, like, how are things going? Like, you tell me, like, just kind of like walk me through how things are going so far. Like, tell me about this video game.
Oh boy, do I have some stuff to tell you. Here we go.
You're Wooly on versus Wolves right now, and I just assigned you this game. So like, go on.
So, game's fine. It's Fire Emblem. I like Fire Emblem. It's good. I'm enjoying it. Everybody's so mean to Boyd. Why are they so mean to Boyd? Leave him alone. I get it. He sucks. I know. I agree. But like every
guy.
word that comes out of anyone's mouth about him to his face is like, man, you suck, man.
It's
Remember
great.
that time you sucked?
I mean, in my run, Boyd was pulling his weight more than Ike was, so...
Honestly, same.
By the end of mine, Boyd was doing pretty well.
I think Boyd's doing pretty well for all of us, I think. Ike's kind of underperforming for me, and I'm mad at Reese for giving me a level up with 0 stat ups.
Yeah.
I had like 2 of those for 2 different characters.
Yes.
Boyd might have been one of them.
Well, so I guess the first things first is that I'm assuming you just went with the random level up option to start.
Is that unlocked at the start?
Oh, maybe it's not unlocked until... Because I'm playing this on... So if people know, I'm playing this on original hardware. I have a GameCube copy of this game. So I'm playing on a save file that I have already beaten. And so I don't know if it's unlocked by default or not, but there's an option to either have... What is it? I forget what it's called, but there's an option for level ups to be like any Fire Emblem game where it's just random based on the chance of the character to get that level up. Or there's an option called set, which is that they always reach a certain threshold for what their level stats will be.
Basically fixed growths.
Yeah,
which
fixed
like
growths.
not
That's what it is.
fixed, because it works like in Heroes, right? Where the path to max level is a little random, but like you always have the same stats at the end, right?
No, I think the way they do it is that like basically treat the percentage points as like a percent increase for each level up, and whenever it just passes the next level threshold, you get plus
Okay.
1 in that. So like if you have a 75% growth rate, you like first level up, it'll just be 0.75, won't be a level up, then the next one will be 1.5, so you'll have a plus 1.
Okay.
The only setting I really messed with the entire time was text speed,
Okay.
because
Well, yeah.
his game moves slowly.
Oh, just you wait until there's more armored units.
Like, it's not even just armored, and I don't think this is like a flaw with the game per se, but like, I get it, Nintendo, fancy 3D models, I get it. All right, can they move slightly faster?
That is one of the big criticisms, is that everything moves very slowly, especially during enemy phase when you get to the really long maps.
Oh God, like I'm terrified of that, because I've already hit the point where it's like, all right, enemy phase, I'm just gonna fucking put my controller down and go get a snack or some shit.
This is
'cause
a
I'll be
game
here for the
about
rest of the
enemy
year.
phase.
Yeah,
Like,
because it's 90% of the game.
This game puts you in BK mode.
I don't remember which. I think it was the one in that temple or fort. Yeah, in the abandoned fort. I don't remember which chapter that was. Was it 7?
The
You
last
gotta
one
narrow
we
it
did?
down.
The one before the stories.
inside
stuff
the
really
building,
picks up.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
inside the
7,
building.
yeah.
Yeah, that one had enemy phases that lasted longer than the approximate age of the universe.
Can I show you a map from Radiant Dawn?
Yeah,
Speaking of
that's-
enemy phase.
Yeah, if you think the maps of this game take long.
Please do.
This is chapter 3-12 in Radiant Dawn.
You know, maybe Fire Emblem isn't worth it. Maybe it should have died after Awakening. So that's my first big takeaway, is that everybody's so mean to Boyd and the game moves extremely slow. Mist is especially mean to Boyd. What is Mist's problem? I mean, other than the fact that Boyd as a person sucks, but like,
Her mom's dead.
yeah, I guess.
And now her dad's dead.
You know what?
The real question is, why is everyone making fun of Boyd and not making fun of Rolf? Fuck that guy.
Oh my god. Joe, you won't hear Rolf's official voice acting in Path of Radiance, but I've been imitating it every time he speaks, and chat is ready to turn on me.
Oh,
So
great.
speaking of the voice acting, we got a little cutscene to start off the game.
It's true.
I guess we got
Yeah,
two
and
cutscenes
if you listen really closely, you might be able to make out the words being
Big
said.
maybe. Very maybe.
About time.
Like it's got that problem that games of that, because a lot of PS2 games have this fucking issue as well, where it's like, here's an FMV cutscene.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you didn't want to hear what's being said.
Yeah, honestly, the cutscene where the Black Knight kills Grail, that was the first time I've ever understood what he is saying in that scene. Never managed to do that before.
But so it is very bad in like its readability of what he's actually saying. I do kind of like the effect on his voice though, but that might just be a nostalgia thing.
Well, no, I don't think it's a problem with like the effect on his voice. I think it's that
It's bad sound balance.
his volume
Yeah,
is
yeah.
set to 30%.
Oh, that too.
It's bad sound balance, which, like I said, is a problem that a lot of FMV cutscenes had during that specific era of video games.
This does make me a little bit nostalgic for like that period of time in games where whenever a cutscene happened, you knew it was like a big deal, and it's like, oh, it's time for the cutscene, like one of like 4 in the
Yeah.
game.
And it's weird now, like modern games. It's like I'm thinking about Persona 5, where it's like that game has some like fully animated cutscenes for like fucking nothing. like for stuff who gives a shit about. And it's like, this is a game that really picks and chooses what's the important stuff for us to see fully animated. And
Yeah,
that's
because
exciting.
otherwise it wouldn't all fit because it's on a tiny disc.
Yeah.
Remember, kids, you might not know this if you're younger than me, but...
Or if your parents made good decisions about which video game consoles they bought when you were young.
like me.
Like ours didn't.
GameCube discs are really small, and I don't mean in terms of size. I mean, I do, like, in terms of, like, data storage size. I mean in terms of physical size. They were, like, slightly larger than a large coin.
Mm-hmm.
It's so weird. Especially, even now, when I open a GameCube case and look at a disc, it's like, why are they so fucking small? That probably also affected the success of the GameCube when everybody who developed for it had to use this fucking proprietary stupid mini disc thing.
Yeah. They're like the little mini discs that you get on like a back of a cereal box.
Yeah, honestly.
Like, it's kind of insane how they went from keeping cartridges when everybody else was moving to CDs, and they finally moved to CDs, but their own special CDs. Basically what we're saying is Nintendo not learning from the past is not new.
I mean, it was an anti-piracy thing, and that's what it always is for them. It's kind of like the only thing they give a shit about.
Look how that worked out with me playing this game definitely on a GameCube.
Yeah, 20 years later.
Yeah. Take that, Nintendo.
Oh, no.
Yeah. They're not going to sell you the game.
That's true. They don't sell GameCube games.
They're so uninterested in selling you this game.
Unless it's called The Legend of Zelda, you don't get to play GameCube games anymore. Mm-hmm. That's what Nintendo decided.
Yeah,
and I guess for 1 year if it was called Super Mario Sunshine. But if you want it now, fuck you.
Joe, how do you feel, like on the topic of like the story and characters and everything, how do you feel about racism?
This is a loaded question. And I will not be responding this time.
How do you feel about racism against furries?
Okay, that is weird. I'm gonna be real, because, like, it's not even like, oh man, we kind of don't trust those animal people. It's, man, those filthy subhumans. Fuck those guys. Look at those fucking those animals, those barbarians.
I'll say it really catches you off guard.
We should just kill them all.
This game is extremely about racism. And, like, kind of, like, does not pussyfoot around it either. Like,
I mean, they're cat people, so it does. But it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay, yeah. But, like... but, like, we have slurs being thrown back and forth.
And I like that they start off coming from like the people in your group. It's not like, oh, like we're like all the good guys and the bad guys are the ones who are racist. It's like, no, like some of your closest advisors are like also racist too. So
yeah.
That being said, this is a call out post for Ike. How would you not know that the term subhuman was offensive? Yeah. That's not even a slur. That's just a word.
Look, Ike's just our dumb little boy.
You can't say that to people.
That is like actually kind of an astonishing moment.
I fucking... though shout out to that one dude that's like, oh, cool, you're my friend now. I'm gonna kill this other one now. Which, by the way, hey, Soren, what the fuck?
Yeah, so how do you feel about, like, talking about, like, Soren? Like, just generally, like, you spoke a little bit about Boyd, but how do you feel about, like, the intro characters to this game so far?
Sasuke is pretty cool, I guess. I didn't watch a lot of Naruto, but it's a cool thing that crossed over here. He even fucking looks like Sasuke. I mean, come on.
Soren, honestly, I think is one of, like, the character with more genuine depths to him in this game. And kind of the unfortunate part is that a lot of what his deal isn't revealed until Radiant Dawn.
Nice.
Okay, so on one hand, like, I do think Path of Radiance is good standalone. Like, you're gonna get like a full experience out of this, and it's gonna be good quality. This is one of the better games in the franchise to me, but it is extremely part one, and that's why I'm begging you, please, we have to play Radiant Dawn at some point after this. I'm begging you.
I would argue that this game it's less of like a part one prologue and more of that Radiant Dawn is like, okay, we took that complete story and let's like expand on it.
Yes and no.
Other than the greater lore things, I mean, in terms of like the character arcs.
Yeah, there are some very. You're right. There are just some things that are extremely left hanging for the sequel.
Yeah, but as far as like the characters themselves, they like all have a full arc in this game. It's just that it gets expanded upon more.
Yeah, and to that end, it's like Ike isn't really the main character of Radiant Dawn. So like to that end, like yeah, like you're gonna get the complete story for him here, and you're going to get like a satisfying conclusion. It's just there is so much more, and it stays really good. And Radiant Dawn is my favorite game in the franchise. So I desperately, desperately need you to play it.
Now allow me to tell you all the story of Chapter 6 and how I am an idiot. So, Chapter 6 is the one at the river, right?
Yeah.
Where you're
Yes.
you're escorting the princess. So, that level went as normal for most of it. I am using save states, but I'm kind of using them in the same for the most part. We're going to talk about this level where I used them differently.
Are you doing the Copper Man run like I am?
Well,
We'll get to that.
So when I do, like, first off, what the fuck is a Copperman run? I guess I'll find out. When I do save states for like Fire Emblem games, I tend to use them the same way that like I use Divine Pulse and whatever the fuck it was called in Engage. I don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
Which was, oh, did somebody die this turn? All right, we're doing the whole turn over. Like going back to the start of the turn, not just like a couple moves back.
Right.
So it started as normal with that. There wasn't a lot of trouble. Ike was still not doing great. Soren is weak as shit still. He can't kill to save his goddamn life.
He's starting to get there for me, but he takes some effort.
By the end, Ike was finally killing pretty consistently. And this is part of why. So I decided I need Ike to level up. Ike has to be the one that kills the boss. So I get everybody over there. Obviously, multiple people need to hit the boss before Ike, because Ike does like 7 damage, and he does like 15 to Ike. And then after 2 turns, Ike is dead. So, get everybody over there. I start by trying to hit him with Titania. She kills him in 1 turn. So we go back. Don't throw Titania at him. Throw Soren at him. Oh no, he's holding a javelin. Shit!
Wait, did you not see the
No,
battle
I didn't.
preview?
I wasn't paying attention enough to notice it was a javelin. I figured it was just a lance.
Non sequitur question. What difficulty did you pick again?
Easy.
Oh no.
Joe,
I'm a child. What do you want from me?
I so sorely miss watching you play Fire Emblem. You don't have to stream on Twitch. Just please stream to me. Please.
Sometimes Fire Emblem doesn't have to be a strategy game.
Story ain't over yet. Don't worry about it. He crits Soren.
Oh.
We have to go back. Soren's dead. What's the horseback guy's name?
Oscar.
Oscar. Throw Oscar at him. He does pretty alright. Enemy comes from the side, has a little bit more movement range than I thought, because I didn't think to go hit him to show their movement range, and Ike happens to be in that movement range. Ike dies. Go back. Finally managed to kill the boss with Ike. Enemy from the left side of the field comes in and kills Ike right after that.
God.
Go back. Ike's dead.
I really do need to watch you. It's like you're playing a different game.
Yeah. No, Joe, you don't have to stream to Twitch. Just please stream to me.
Throw Titania at the guy on the left. Throw Oscar at the guy on the right. We're good. Ike dies. He gets critted. Go back. Try a different approach. After an hour...
What?
Ike has killed the boss, and I have successfully completed chapter 6.
And this is why the episode took so long to come out.
That is a true story. Every word of that is true, by the way.
Oh no.
And like that is all born from my no. Ike has to kill the boss. I need him to get that XP.
And then you unlock bonus experience.
I could have just thrown Titania at the dude and been done in less than 5 minutes, but it had to be Ike.
How do you feel now knowing about bonus experience?
Well, now Ike is really, really strong, so...
There we go.
There's also a character that if one of us isn't watching you play to tell you what to do, you will not recruit this character in one of the coming chapters.
That's okay.
Just as a heads up.
Oh, my strategy for that is there a character that is a character
Oh, Joe.
on the other side? I open a guide.
Joe, that's not going to work.
Yeah,
Oh,
if that's the
cool.
only time you look at the guide, you're not gonna know.
Oh, good. Great. I did manage to get everybody for this one, by the way.
That you know.
That I know.
I can let you know when it shows up.
Mia obviously fucking walks up to you, and it's impossible to miss her. I don't remember her name, the
Ileana.
mage. Yeah, Ileana. I got her.
So actually in this game, on the status screen, like when you hit the Y button to pull up like your units and stuff, no, it's the unit menu when you like click on an empty space. I'm sorry. So on the unit menu, when you scroll over all the way to the right, it actually has a list of every conversation that your army can have. So it's like, if there's a character on the map, you can just look at that screen and it tells you who has to talk to them.
Interesting. This brings me to my next question. What does it mean I've done 4 out of 5 supports? Period. Across everything.
Oh yeah, so each character has 5 supports total. This is old school Fire Emblem style. You can't just support every character with every character.
But that means the supports are like better.
Useful, yeah.
But how will I smush my action figures together
Oh,
and
no.
make them kiss?
I got some bad news for you. This game has a sequel, therefore no one can have ending that pairs them together. Not until the next game.
So yeah, that's weird. But I guess I'll see more of that. I've only gotten one, as far as I think it was Ike and Oscar?
That's a good support to have because they are both Earth Affinity, which is the best support affinity to have in this game because it gives
What
you
the
evasion.
What the fuck did you just say?
Joe, there are so many mechanics in these games. It's like, that's like kind of the best part of Tellius is that there's so many mechanics. Like, have you looked at your biorhythm yet?
What the fuck did you just say to me?
The biorhythm, this signature skill thing of the game, aside from like the things literally called skills, the biorhythm's like the signature mechanic. It's not. No one will ever agree if you say that, but I think it is. Biorhythm is on every character, on every unit's status screen. You can see like a little graph that has like a parabola of like their biorhythm, and their biorhythm moves along that graph turn by turn, and they have stat bonuses or debuffs based on the biorhythm.
And the enemy's biorhythm too.
Yeah, and the enemy's biorhythm.
This is a fucking
So you-
XCOM game? What the fuck are you talking about?
So you're gonna hear that explanation and be like, "What the fuck? This is so complex." You can ignore it. Like literally
yeah.
everyone ignores it. It doesn't make that much of a difference. It's just for some slight variation in like hit and evasion.
Yeah, if your unit has the highest point of their biorhythm and the enemy unit has the lowest point in your biorhythm, you will gain like 10% hit chance. It's not that big a deal. But it's really funny to describe.
Why did I decide to do this show?
Here's Boyd's biorhythm.
If Mist saw that, she'd say something mean about him.
But also, characters have different biorhythm graphs. Here's one from Radiant Dawn. So it's like this one is like more volatile. He like cycles through it a lot faster.
I think he needs to get an EKG. Anyways, and that's basically the notes I have for this part of the game. Ike is so far pretty strong. Now he started weak as shit. Like he started being unable to kill anything. I had to throw him against archers because otherwise he would die. That's how we lived for the first like 3 chapters.
Nice.
Soren is still weak. He dies if somebody blows on him, and he can't kill anything to save his life. He has pretty good evasion, though. Things miss him a lot, at least. So, yeah, you know. And Titania is obviously that character that's... Look, here's the carry character for the first, 10 chapters.
Oh, yeah, but she stays good.
Oh, good. I'm glad about that, actually. She seems cool.
She is pretty cool.
So this game has a little thing called Kanto. I forget which of the newer games it's in, but this is the first time I think it shows up in the series.
I think Radiant Dawn is the last time. Like, I don't think it's an Awakening in this form.
Oh, it's not in any of the post-Awakening games?
I think they realized pretty quickly never to do this again.
Oh. That's
I've
crazy.
never heard of this. For
So
a second, I thought you said Kanto, and I was thinking of the Pokemon region.
I did say Kanto, with the C instead of a K.
Kanto is the thing that allows mounted units to move after acting.
I see.
Which is wildly overpowered. It would sort of come back eventually, where it's it doesn't count for after you attack, but if you don't attack, then you can move.
Oh, okay.
But they never did it you can attack then move again.
I feel like Engaged lets you do that, but not very far, maybe a space.
I think specifically Sigurd has Kanto in Engage.
That's right, he does.
That actually sounds right.
Yeah, so Kanto in this game is just based off of whatever your remaining movement was. So if you attack without moving, you get to move your full move right after that.
Mm-hmm. It's wild.
But I don't have a ton else to say personally. I haven't gotten my pet project yet. We'll see. I need to get a flyer first. It's important. The most important part of any Fire Emblem game that I play is that I have to make a flyer stronger than God.
You get a couple flyers, and they're some of the best characters in both gameplay and writing.
They will be when I'm done with them.
To be fair, Fire Emblem makes making your flyer unit godlike really easy, because in most of the games, they're always the strongest unit on your team.
Now, Joe.
Pretty sure I had to work a little bit for Florina, but...
Now, Joe, remember, Kanto is all mounted units. So your flyers will also have it.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Every Fire Emblem run has to include a god killer on a winged horse or dragon-like creature.
Oh, this game's got you covered, I'll tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Perfect. They made it for me, and they listened to my letters.
You even get creatures.
That's true, too.
What?
You get beast units.
I wasn't even thinking of them.
Oh, interesting.
I mean, the furries are going to join you. I don't know if you your furry friends are going to be playable.
You don't say.
and not just furries.
So I actually had a topic
That
that I wanted to bring up.
That is a terrifying sentence you said to me. Yes? What is the...
So I don't know, because this is the second pre-awakening game you've played. Playing this game for me really makes me nostalgic, or like makes me miss the time when the Fire Emblem games felt like medieval instead of kind of like, I don't want
Anime.
how else to describe it other than like, yeah, anime futurism kind of.
They feel like I'm gonna say it. They feel like isekai.
And I think like you can see it in like small things, like just like the way like the UI is presented in the games. Like this game, it has like a very like old style to it. Like it's got the cool like medieval flourishes or whatever. But like if you look at like Engage, everything is very stark, like clean boxes, and it doesn't really fit in with like the fantasy. I feel like.
It's this feels like Western fantasy, and like
A little
like
bit.
it would be wrong to say that there's no anime here because it's like there obviously is, but
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna take issue with saying the ones after Awakening are anime,
No,
as if
there
implying
is-
this
But
one
there
is
is
not.
there
There
is
is-
a difference.
yeah, this is based more on Western fantasy that you don't really see in Fire Emblem nowadays, and I do kind of like that. I think it added I think specifically like the fact that it is kind of anime now combined with the Western fantasy. That combination is something that I don't think we get as much. And that was something that I specifically found interesting about it. And now they've kind of left the Western fantasy angle behind and it's kind of just anime now.
Yeah, you see that a lot with the characters, both in like their appearance and their personalities. This game, the characters, they kind of have, I mean, obviously it's heightened a little bit, but their outfits are fairly normal, like outfits that you would use in fighting, compared to more modern Fire Emblem games where they go a lot more overboard with like the armor designs and like the belts and that sort of thing.
Yeah, well, I think that you can
I
think you
attribute
can
that
see
more to those characters need to sell figures. You got to sell figures of those characters.
Well, they didn't have to though.
I think it's that now Fire Emblem has the budget to give every character a unique model instead of reusing the NPC models, and by fucking god, they're going to.
I mean, it also depends too on like the game. Like Three Houses is a little bit more grounded in some areas
That's true.
in terms of
I
like
mean,
the character
anything
outfits.
is more grounded when the game you're coming off of is Fates.
Yeah.
The fucking Eddie. I like some of the character designs in Fates, but boy howdy, anything is more
There's
grounded.
not a
after
lot.
that.
There's not a lot that I like.
Well, I think also, like I was saying, it's the characters themselves too. Also, like in the newer Fire Emblem games, usually the character has like, oh, this is that one character's gimmick. They like this one thing, and they will never shut up about this one thing. Whereas in this game, like they have things that are kind of define their characters or things they're interested in. Like Oscar's good at cooking, but it's not. It doesn't define every single conversation that he's in, and he is allowed to participate in the plot in ways that minor characters in newer games just wouldn't.
Yeah, like they're allowed to be characters instead of punchlines, recurring jokes, and I think that's really important. Like it lets you have like this group that feels much more real, partially because they're not just completely singing your praises every single sentence. Like most of them support you, but they do also like criticize you, and some of them fucking hate you.
Yeah. And I think the scene that really like it shows how strong it is in this game is that one scene where they have to take a vote with Grail on what to do with Alencia, and every single character gets a say in that, and you get a little bit of their personalities from how they're thinking, and they don't all agree and they differ in what they want to do.
Yeah,
It's very nice.
But I would argue that is because there's only like 6 of them in that scene.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, that's part of the thing, is that the game allows these characters kind of grow at the beginning. It doesn't rush into getting a million characters right away.
compared to Awakening, where like you have like 4 characters that are important through the entire story.
Yeah, characters tend to show up for their intro chapter and then never be relevant ever again.
I mean, that's how Blazing Blade was too.
Well,
Yeah,
I'll just be real, that's how Blazing Blade was too. Unless their name was Ellawood or Lynn, they didn't get to matter.
And that's why I like Path of Radiance, because that's not how it is here. Like,
I think
And-
Three
and,
Houses
like-
is the only other game I can think of that like really sticks to that every character stays important.
Yeah, and that's part of why, like, the base conversations, like, we only saw one before we hit the cutoff, but one chapter's worth of them before we hit the cutoff. But it's like every character is going to stay relevant through those like, even as we get to the point where the story can't accommodate your entire cast, and like not everyone is going to be in the story cutscenes, everyone is still going to keep showing up in those base conversations, and that allows the cast to feel more fleshed out and real. When you get to a chapter like 20 chapters from now where Boyd could have something to say, he's going to. And that is something that Fire Emblem has completely lost nowadays. Three Houses tried to kind of have it by giving every character a unique paragraph of dialogue before literally every single chapter, which was better than we've gotten recently. And then Engage just completely threw that away. So I really love this time of Fire Emblem where everyone got to matter, and it's why these two games are still my favorite, and why it was so unfortunate for me to start here, because it's all downhill from there. There's no Fire Emblem has ever been as good as this.
The first Fire Emblem I played is the best one.
Yeah, I agree. It is.
I will have to see if I fall into that camp or not. Who knows? It's a
Joe.
mystery. We still have a lot of video game to play.
Joe, I'm going to be real. You've broken my heart, because in the coming chapters is a moment that I've waited to see you playing on stream for 5 years, and now I'm not going to get that. So,
And that's
How dare
just
you
one
do
of
this
the
to
many
me.
ways I'm destroying all of my friendships through the use of Smashterpieces.
Oh,
oh, I just did the math. It's actually not 5 years. It's 6 years.
Fuck, it has been 6 years. Oh
has been 6
my
years.
god. Actually, yeah, that makes sense, because OSC was 5 at the beginning of the year, and we started OSC a year after we started Smashterpieces. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Yeah.
So on the last episode, Melanie and I both mentioned that we were going to be doing Iron Man runs of this game. I am playing on hard. I don't know which difficulty level
playing
you're
on
playing
hard.
on. Hard. Okay, that's cool. So
That's why things went the way they did.
There was so much judgment in that. Oh yeah, that's cool.
tell me how your Iron Man run went. Did everyone make it out all right? Give me an update on your army.
I think you know how it went.
Oh, but I don't.
Really? Does the audience know though? Maybe we should explain
yeah,
to
we
them.
streamed it. Yeah, we streamed it. I mean, it's all there. You can just go
Oh,
see
but
it.
I didn't see that stream. I was busy during that stream. Could you
Oh, it
fill me in?
sucks.
So in my notes that I pulled up here, I have written down Melody, dead, Ike, and Marcia twice. Can you explain that to me?
Well, when Ike died, the Iron Man ended. That's how Iron Man's work, Fossils. That's the rules.
All right, and Marcia died twice, huh?
That wasn't my fault, and you know it.
So explain,
You were
explain,
there.
explain what happened. Explain what happened.
Marcia shows up, and like she shows up like in the middle of like a group of enemies, and you need to get to her before they kill her. I would like to
That
note.
was stressful.
I would like
that was
to note.
stressful.
I would like to note, it is not physically possible for you to reach her in just one turn. I checked. Don't worry, I did the math. You physically cannot get a character to her in just one turn, which is why it's not my fault if she dies in that first turn.
How did she die in one turn?
She got hit with several axes.
It's really just a skill difference, huh?
You see, when Fossils puts the disc in his GameCube, he does it in a special way that makes her not die.
I activate a solar flare.
And you really should have thought about doing that.
Mathematically cannot get to her before she dies.
So she's dead in your run then. That's what happened.
No, the Iron Man ended when Ike died in the previous chapter.
Oh, so your second run was no longer an Iron Man? Is
We
that the
talked-
rule we're
it
going
was-
by?
It's the Copper Man run.
Copperman run. AKA the Iron Man run that it only applies when we feel like it.
Yeah, that is how I described it.
All right, cool. I just wanted to keep
The-
our audience caught up to date so that way they
the
know.
Iron Man
I
run.
just
and
need to make sure that everybody knows which one is the real Fire Emblem player and which one is the fraud.
the rules of an Iron Man run is that if your lord dies and you game over, it ends. The run's over. So
you rewatch the prologue.
no, I'm not a sore loser. I accepted the results.
Okay. Imagine if you had done the wheel thing, chapter 2, and just like you lose one of those like 4 units that are critical to your run.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, we restarted that chapter like 3 times.
It was a fun time though. We had to relearn that enemy phase exists.
Shut the fuck up.
What? Wait, hold on. No, you can't just let that go. I need to know. I need to know what the fuck that means.
Fossils, I think you need to understand the idea of the stream tax here.
So, just as a note for Joe, sometimes when you have an army member who is going to die in a certain number of hits, you do not have to attack with them on your player phase. You can simply place them in the enemy's way, and then let them attack you during their phase. So
Are you
that way
familiar with
don't
the
die.
concept? Fossils, are you familiar with the concept of the stream tax?
We're all paying it.
I don't think you've never streamed the Fire Emblem game, I don't think.
That's true.
He's
Would you
paying
like-
a different kind of tax.
Would you like to stream on the channel? I can make it happen. It's basically my channel.
I don't think I can. I can make it happen because I'm playing on GameCube. Remember, I don't have any
Hey!
capture
I
cards.
played Luigi's Mansion and Twin Snakes on a real GameCube,
Yeah.
and I streamed those. So
I know your address. I can send you one.
Okay, there you go. If you send me a capture card, then maybe I'll do it.
I'm just gonna go fucking kick down his door, hand him the Avermedia, and then leave without a word.
I can do that.
Uh-oh.
Apologies in advance when you come home like 3 days from now, Fossils, and there's just an Avermedia sitting on your doorstep.
What if I just use my phone and just take a picture of my screen, my TV?
Yeah, the
Sure,
old school.
we'll do it.
We're doing it the old way, baby.
Unregistered Hypercam 5.
No, I wouldn't even be unregistered hypercam. That'd be pre that even. Okay, so next part. This is obviously one of 4 parts. In case people missed that last episode because you didn't listen to the Star Fox Assault episode, which I'm hurt. Why would you do that? You should listen to all of our episodes. Because it's the only number I am able to put my self-worth on.
It's the only time we get to see Joe anymore.
Pretty much.
Actually, there's only
so-
one episode you can skip, and it's this one. Unfortunately, if you're listening to this, you already haven't skipped it. Sorry.
And now you have to listen to the whole show forever.
I do. So do you now.
Anyways, the next part is going to go up to chapter 17.
Mm-hmm.
To the end of chapter 17, apparently.
Yeah,
Called Day Breaks.
this
Which
one's
they should fix it.
Fairly lengthy.
This one's a little... 9 chapters, that... is
I
assume
like
the chapters are
The
long.
intro chapters are
12.
very, very short, so it's going to be a lot longer than our
boy.
first one. So
Yeah, it's actually 12 chapters. I will not elaborate.
Well, it's a good thing I'm not leaving the country for a week right after this.
Yeah, when I came up with these separations, I also expected to have the opportunity to talk to you in chat while this is happening and help make sure that you were on the right path and everything and things were going well. So, gonna be interesting.
I really am the Boyd of this podcast.
Yeah, I agree.
Melanie got her turn of being Boyd this episode.
Yeah. Look, there's a lot of video game between now and the next bit.
Yeah, we'll be here for... Remember that Blazing Boyd took us like 6 months. All right, people, I'm hoping this one doesn't take us half a year, but...
I just want to watch you play.
Bear with us.
Right, don't worry,
Literally-
listeners. I'm pressuring them to try and finish. I'm going as fast
Literally,
as I can.
all I want is to watch you play, Joe.
I need them to understand. I need the audience to understand. When he says he's going as fast as he can, I mean that he told us he was at the checkpoint like a day and a half after we recorded that pre-show.
Yeah, it was before it came out.
So...
I like this game. I wanted an excuse to play it.
Well, there you go.
I have been waiting to play it, yeah.
Well, we've talked about it 3 times on our wrap-up episodes, and we were gonna eventually.
And I have been having a good time streaming it, too.
Anyways, if you want to follow us on Twitter, you shouldn't, because neither of us post on Twitter anymore.
I post on Blue Sky now.
Blue Sky.
We don't have a Smashterpieces account on Blue Sky.
Oh, we should fix that.
Yet. We'll probably get that fixed up.
It sounds like you got to make one before the episode comes out.
No, because now I just said we don't have one.
Follow
so
us
I'll be a
at
liar.
smashterpieces.bsky.social.
After the episode comes out.
Right,
It won't
right.
exist before then.
No, it will exist before then. And Joe's going to make it.
Fuck, I will. I'm not going
on
to
it.
become a liar. Not in this instance.
Well, then right this second, set a timer for 24 hours and then go follow us on Blue Sky. You should follow me on Blue Sky, though. I have a Blue Sky. SapphireSnatchX.bluesky.social.
You shouldn't follow me. I don't post anything of worth.
I post when I'm streaming because we don't have a Smashterpieces Twitter for me to post that on.
I post the same amount I posted on Twitter, which is absolutely nothing.
But we can still follow you on Twitter, right?
You can follow me on Blue Sky too. I have an account. I just don't post anything.
Blue Sky. I'm still not used to actually saying Blue. We can still follow you on Blue Sky, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And what's your Blue Sky?
That's a good question. I don't know. I'm not trying to evade the question. I just genuinely don't know.
I mean, it's the same thing as everywhere else.
Razzledazzle.42 or Razzledazzle42.
.bluesky.social.
Yeah.
You gotta say that because people can have different ones.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Interesting. I did
People
not know that.
can set their own domains as their
The Taylor Swift fandom has their own.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
You can also find us on YouTube at Smashterpieces. VODs and episodes go up there. I'm sorry,
Allegedly.
I'm very bad about VODs. That's on me. I'm so tired. But episodes do go out day and date now because that's the RSS feed for Google now. Oops. Again, reminder, we have outlived 2 entire Google podcast services. And with that, I don't have anything else to say.
I just want to watch you play Fire Emblem.
Well, a lot of people want a lot of things.
Oh, no. I just want to kill furries.
I get... That checks out. And with that, my name is Joe.
My name is Melanie.
And I'm Matt.
And we will see you next time for part 2 of our discussion of Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. Just had to get that racism out at the end. Huh?
The very edge, yeah.
I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say the S word.
So humid.